Okay. Now, you did mention something that is a big thing with most of these things is catfishing and stuff like that. Truyou is a definite truism because the internet lets you be true to who you really are, even though that's not what you really are. And how can you protect somebody else who is looking for something else, but somebody else is comfortable on the internet being something, but that's not what they really are in true life? There's a dichotomy here that where you want to allow people to be who they are genuinely, but when other people come on, they're looking for something that wants to be genuinely who you are, but they want that to match also their idea of what that is. And the internet has given us the ability to avatar ourselves and expect other people to respect. And if you're honest, I think we make more friends if we're honest that this is who I am, but this is what I want to represent. And it gives everyone an upfront understanding so we can build as we go and not like 6 months later, you were doing a reveal.
Let me see if I understand what your question is. From my understanding, it's how will I allow for people to be who they want to be on the internet, while also protecting catfish protection. Is that a good summation?
Yes.
So basically what it comes down to, currently a user has the option to verify their account or not. So through us working with Vendible, come later iterations of our MVP, we can secure users' credentials and do a pretty seamless integration through that to just verify that a user is who they say they are. But outside of that, a user doesn't necessarily have to go through that process. They can forego that and remain anonymous, but their account will not be verified on the platform. Something else that we're hoping to integrate as well is something that has been tried in the market before, the allowance for users to include their personal NFTs on their profile, not necessarily as their primary profile picture, but as a display that, hey, this is the type of artwork I'm interested in. These are the projects I'm interested in. Maybe you're also interested in these projects. And ideally, this will be multi-chain, so it could be Solana-based projects or Algorand-based projects, or ideally in future, I know they're typically DeFi-based, but AVAX-based. I mean, the potential is endless, but ideally, the purpose behind it is to allow for that individuality while also protecting that verification aspect.
Yeah. So with what you were just saying, so the NFT projects sounds good. Are you going to also try to do that with the gaming environment and where I'm a gamer and it's always good to have a similar interest. Let's go over to Twitch. Let's talk about this game and this new game and let's try this. And one of the things that I see this thing is helping building communities. And I really think that this is something that it may not be its initial genuine thing, but I think in this you can have a place where you feel safe and build communities and have friends and share true interests with other people. And I think it's something that we need as a society. And like you said, the more common places that we share ourselves and be feeling comfortable with sharing ourselves. Is this an aspect that you think Truyou can actually kind of grow into?
Most definitely. Something we've seen a lot in crypto especially is tribalism. So a lot of people finding their specific group and then all or nothing into that group. And
Oh,
then they can even split themselves, I suppose, into several different groups. But more so, this is kind of led through the adoption of NFTs and identifying by a specific artist or art style or group. So allowing for kind of the development of that individuality is going to be incredibly important for us. And I absolutely have no problem in helping people facilitate the growth of those groups. And I would imagine through these groups, there's going to be a much larger growth of friendships and connections, which is our entire purpose is connection. So if it helps to fulfill our mission, then I'm 100% behind it.
okay. Um, let's get to another thing that I wanted to briefly, and that's the tokenomics, because we are blockchain and we deal with various things, and people are not as educated, and people call everything rug pull, and it's just the climate that we're in, trying to find stability. Um, the tokenomics of the site, and I got to be upfront because I have been invested through um, Algo Fund, but that's neither here or there. But I just want y'all to know that's kind of invested in it. So tokenomics, people are really want to know tokenomics of any new project that's coming out, because people get scared because it's going to rug pull. What does your tokenomic setup look like to try to be as fair as possible to those who are going to do pre-sales and those who may try to buy in when it becomes available to the public?
For sure. So initially, back in February, when we introduced Truyou to the public, we did a private sale and a pre-sale. Kind of out of the blue, decided, all right, we need to create a product in order to display that, hey, we're serious. This is something that we're actually pursuing here. So we did a very small raise. I think it was a total of 35,000 Algo total. 10,000 of which is locked away in a secondary wallet that we had initially planned to be the initial liquidity post-launch. So 25,000 Algo, less than $15,000 at the time, built 3 smart contracts, a backend, a front-end UI, and pulled on 5 team members. There's not a lot of people out there that I think can accomplish something like that, especially while working another full-time job at the same time as an ICU nurse. So basically what it comes down to, a user would be investing in me to lead the project overall. Again, ICU nurse. Nursing's been the most trusted profession in the entire world. Number one, every year for the last 20 plus years. Outside of that, we've proven that we can accomplish our goals. We've developed this MVP and are doing our race so that we can continue to develop and promote the Algorand economy on top of all blockchain economies. So our goal and our mission is perseverant. Regardless of what obstacles we reach, we are going to achieve our goals.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a little bit about this before, about sometimes blockchain people can be a bit tribal, and it comes maxis and all that other stuff. You mentioned that on a couple of occasions about multi-chain. Even though you are launching on Algorand, I want to put this out there because when you start on somewhere and then you like, oh, they're on Solana, or they're working, people for some reason they get their pants all in a bunch, and it's like, it's only supposed to be using. And I think Silvio McCauley Stacy Warren say it all the time. There's going to be a multi-chain environment. We are algorithms seeking to be multi-chain. So, I just want to make sure that it's out there on the record that this is something that as Algorand as a base, you're looking to make sure that you extend this to other blockchains, not only for the betterment of a Truyou, because you want to make sure you include as many people as you can. But if you go out there, I'm pretty sure Algorand can be able to reach other people that don't know about it, and through Truyou gets exposure. Are you looking to be multi-chain project?
Yeah, most definitely. So any fear that the user could have about maybe like supply dilution or us losing interest in development on a specific chain, these eventualities are non-existent. Our plan is to slowly branch out into as many accessible blockchains as possible, which again is incredibly limited because again, I think Solana and Matic and only a small handful of Harmony maybe and a couple of others even have the capability to facilitate the transactions that we need to facilitate. But outside of that, our growth is not necessarily going to be a supply dilution. So we're still looking to have our token supply be as concise as possible, regardless of expansion onto as many chains as possible. And we're hoping to be able to use, like, let's say, Wormhole or some sort of bridge to be able to facilitate for that limited outreach of our supply growth.
So, okay, well, that was my final question. I want to thank you for definitely making time for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the work, and I know you're working hard because doing this and implementations and having this thing come out, I know takes multiple efforts, and it's not easy to coordinate all this stuff to come out the way you want it to and precise and all that other stuff. So I pray I am with you with all the things that you do, hopefully for a successful launch, and just continue to do the best of what you can. And I appreciate your time, Zachary.
Absolutely honored for the opportunity.
All right. Take care.